Welcome to your Soulful Love Guide for February 2025 for 4-6 lines profile in human design. So first, the more you put your presence into this video, the more you will get out of it. And first, I will ask you to participate. So you have 3 cards, and I want you to pick one, the most important one. 1, 2, and 3. Now, so I imagine you already picked it, or pause the video before proceeding. So now that you have your card, remember which one is it, because this number 3 becomes number 2, your present, and number 2 becomes your future, and number 1 remains your past. So these are the cards, and feel free to skip to the part of the video where we talk about that, or watch all of it. The reason why I'm doing this is so that you get most value and in the most shortest amount of time. So let's start with the first card. Before you see it, I want you to pay attention closely. What's the first thing you see in this card? And then where your eyes get drawn to. These 2 perspectives will be the most important ones for you to remember for the rest of the month. So let's get started. This is your past. This is the thing for you to let go. And this is 4 of discs or stability card. If the first thing that you saw was this man laying down here, and it looks like it's laying down, and if that's the case, then your perspective is trying to realize, what are you laying onto? What are you holding onto? What are the things that you're trying to protect? What is your foundation? So, and realize, is your foundation stable or not? Is it something that you can rely on or not? And on Rider's Waite deck, this card is more like trying to hold on to these coins. And this also can be seen like that in this card, trying to kind of protect with your body these coins. And my question to you is it worth protecting? Is it something that's really worth holding on to? And I invite you to really connect with your heart, the pure place in your heart, and feel. Are you free? Like, how do you feel about it? If you feel like there's a lack and you're holding on to something, whether it's a person, relationship, situation, money, whatever that is, if you're holding on to it out of fear and you feel constricted, when you think about it, then that's a sign to let it go. However, if you feel free and out of abundance and deep care and passion, then maybe it's worth holding on to. I'm not here to tell you what specifically is going to be. I'm just giving you guidance and guidelines. How do you know what to do? And generally, 4 of discs is about wealth, about material possessions. So it could be literally money, and it could be literally, are you holding on to cents out of euro or cents out of dollar, that trying to save money and get a worse experience when you could go out on a date and have a once in a while a really nice meal somewhere in a restaurant. I'm not saying that you need to splurge, but yeah, sometimes you might be just saving up a bit too much on things that doesn't need saving, and maybe that's something to let go once in a while. You decide how much you want to let go. However, these are your considerations for this month. If you get drawn to this structure here, this looks like a building, and this guy is laying on top of the building, then your perspective is that, well, you are protected. You have this moat around you, so you're safe. And knowing that you are safe and protected, and that there's nothing to keep you safe from in the first place, how would you act on? How would you behave? And whenever you find yourself in a tough situation, or kind of like in a crossroads, ask yourself this question: what would I do if I knew that I am safe and protected, that I live in a friendly universe, there's nothing I can lose, and act from that place, from knowing that, yeah, everything's gonna be fine. And again, you don't need to act reckless. I'm asking you to really connect with deep and pure place in your heart. From that place, you will know what's the most resonant and most harmonious thing to do. And first, of course, you need to be open, receptive, put yourself in a high vibrational state. So, if you get attracted by these coins here in the background, then perspective for you this month is, it's about wealth. Like, it's literally abundance, wealth, money, it's material possessions, and really evaluate. Are you attached to your material possessions? Let's say, what if something happened and you lost something? I don't want to give you specific examples because I don't want to plant any unwanted seeds, but just go through the mental imaginations. Go through all your possessions, and how would you feel if you lost any of them? And if you feel deep sadness, suffering, then maybe it's time to let go of that attachment and realize that you would still be okay if you lost everything. If everything you lost, you would still be okay. And try to really root yourself in that knowing that, yes, I'm safe and nothing would happen. I would still resolve it. I'm a resourceful person. I know people and I have good habits. So basically, I would go through this. I would find motivation, courage to go through whatever challenges. Even if I lost everything, I would be still okay. And the funny thing about the universe is, the more you're willing to lose and let go, less likely you're going to need to go through this experience. And that's the beauty of it. You can prepare for it in advance. You can let go everything mentally, emotionally, and be okay with. And once you let go of it, you actually appreciate it more. And that's what it's all about, appreciating positions you have. And more you appreciate it, it's like, yeah, if I appreciate it, I'm happy to share it so other people can appreciate too. So that's about letting go and your past. These are the patterns. Let's go for your present. If this is your card, then pay attention. What's the first thing you see? And then what's the thing that really draws your attention? And those are the most important things for you to consider this month to accelerate and have more love in your life. So, if the first thing that you see is this infinity sign, which flows infinitely over and over in circles, then perspective for you is that one thing is for sure, everything changes and we have life in cycles. So you may have same problem coming over and over again, and that's fine. And remember that it's not as much as circle as spiral. And in this picture you don't see it as a spiral, but that's a perspective I encourage you to take. It's not infinite circle where you go in circles. Every time you think you have come to the same place, you're not even in the same place. Because follow me with a finger. I'm starting down underneath here. I'm flowing through the river, flowing, flowing, flowing. It feels like I'm in the same place, but not. I'm level up. So that's the perspective I want you to choose when you go through challenges and changes throughout the life. Acknowledge that you cannot physically be in the same place. Even if you are in exactly the same situation, you're not. You have experience of the past, and now you have two experiences of the past. So you cannot step in the same river twice, because water keeps flowing. So acknowledge that. You have grown, you have experienced, and even if you're worse off than in the past, you still are better off. Like, that's a perspective. And acknowledge that you are growing, you are evolving, and things always change, they will change. Welcome change. If you get attracted to this blue guy, this purple blue guy, and that's the most important thing, then thing for you to consider is priorities. When things come to change, we need to figure out what's the most important thing. We need to consider both options, the good, bad, feminine, masculine. You see this infinity signs as well, like you need to see the both perspectives, all perspectives. Everything is possible. And out of all the possibilities available for you, in order for you to make a choice, in order for you to go anywhere, you need to have clear priorities. You need to know what's the most important thing for you. And how do you know? Of course, you connect with your heart. You connect with your heart, the pure place in your heart. And from that place, you know what's the most important thing. And once you know what's the most important thing in your heart, then you know which of the options, what of the options, maybe none of them. Then maybe your heart says, most important thing for me is love and connection. This month I really want to connect with more people, have meaningful connections. And if you have two possible meetings with people, whether business or romantic dates, whatever the meetings, you have two options. And if you know in your heart that none of them feel like meaningful, then you know they're not options. You can let go of them. And if both of them feel good options, then choose both. If none of them are options, you know there's a third one. Look for a third one. So that's how you navigate yourself through this month, by really knowing that, know your priorities, know your values, know what's driving you, and your heart always knows. And from that feeling, you will know, is this option resonating with that? 5 out of 10. This one, 6 out of 10. And then you decide, is this good enough? You want more? And you make choices from there on. If you get attracted by this void in a back, like the background, the color shapes this background, then the perspective for you this month is that you're an observer. You're neither this guy, you're neither the options, you're the one who's creating vision. So remember, you're creator, you're the soul who's watching all this show. You're now watching this video, seeing me interpreting this card. However, it's not really me interpreting this card, it's you interpreting it as you listen to me. So you're making sense of it for yourself. So, and who's you? You're the soul. You're the observer. Not your body, not your mind, not your heart, not even your heart, not your feelings. Feelings are just guides, and you get to choose how you relate with them. So remember the bigger picture. Remember where you stand, and remember that you're a soul. And from this place, when you realize that all this is just a theater, well, it's easier. It's a play. Let me welcome the change. And what does it mean, soul? What does it mean, observer? Well, it means, I always call it pure place in your heart. Love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. These are natural qualities. And if you don't experience that, then it's illusion. It's not true. It's something to let go of. And that pure place, that love, is always available for you. And remember that as you go through the month. That's what to center yourself around to. That's what to remember. Now, if this is your card, the future, then as always, remember the first thing that you notice, where your eyes get drawn, and then what feels the most important, where your eyes always come back to. These are the perspectives that are most important ones for you to remember this month. So let's go. So this is what to welcome. This card signifies what to welcome, what's coming, what's about to come. And if the first thing that you notice is this kind of person sitting down there and in the night and looks like planting something, then perspective for you is that you're an investor. You are the one who's investing. And yes, some investments may take a while to come into fruition, and that's okay. So perspective for you is, as an investor, how do you look in this relationship if I saw it as investment? Is it a long-term investment, short-term investment? What do I expect from it? And realize that, yeah, if it's a short-term investment, then I don't expect it to stay that long for me in the first place, right? It's a short-term relationship. Or maybe it's a long-term relationship, so I don't need to have returns right now. And also, since it's an investment, ask yourself, how invested are you? Are you willing to stay up late to do this to make sure that you invest in something that later on you have returns. So look at life as investment and you being an investor. And if you don't invest, then don't worry or don't be surprised that you don't get anything back. So if the month for you feels like a bit bland, then ask yourself, did I invest? Should I invest? And that's your perspective. So if you get attached and if you feel like drawn to this flower here, which looks like a green rose, then your perspective this month is that you look at yourself as investment. You're the one that other people invest in. You're the one that's being taken care of. And take care of yourself as investment. Shift perspective. So yes, you can be investor and investment at the same time. And if you see yourself as investment, then see yourself. Are you adding to your investment or you're subtracting from your investment? So you're the funds sitting in your bank account. So are you adding to investment or you're draining account? So how you treat yourself. And this is the perspective which will help you to navigate the change this month. Because change is coming regardless. Life is always changing. How do you deal with change? Well, by relating to it harmoniously. And for you, if you identify with the rose, I can encourage you to really ask yourself on moments of change, moments of decision, how would I go about this if I saw myself as investment? Next, so if you really get drawn to this barren field, like this, there's something about this barren field, like it's bare and there's no life there apart from this newly planted, freshly planted rose, then the key perspective for you is that yes, everything starts bare if you don't put any life into it. So life needs to be put into any endeavor. So yes, opportunities may look like more of a challenge, more of something that's not really able to bear any fruits, and that's just appearance. Question is, does this feel right for your heart? Don't get attached to appearances, because if you have enough care and enough water, then you can make any, if you have, like, you need sunlight, let's say it's for really planting. What does a plant need to grow? It needs enough sunshine, but not too much. It needs enough water, but not too much. And it needs fertile soil. And in right amount of fertile soil, because you can have acidic soil, basic soil, so there's different kinds of soils. So you need to have a right kind of soil for a right kind of plant. And if this is the right, then you have a blooming plant. And it's exactly how I want to relate to your life today, to your investments this month, to the change this month, to your stability and certainty. Where do you get certainty from? Well, certainly you get, am I able to provide all these things for this to grow as it's supposed to be? So that's your perspective. What's the cost for this flower to grow? Well, the cost is I need to water it twice a day, I need to cover it from the shade because this seems to be a very hot place, a very dry place. So these are the costs. The question is, are you willing to pay those costs? Is this a worthwhile investment? Is this something I'm willing to go around with? And once you feel in your heart, only your heart knows. Your heart knows, is this a worthy endeavor? And once you know in your heart, don't care about the mind. Mind will try to come up with all kinds of stories based on your past, limiting beliefs, and all these things. You can listen to them, you can acknowledge them. However, at the end of the day, follow your heart and intuition. And most importantly, the pure place in your heart. And if you get attracted by this shape up here, which is actually night owl, then your perspective this month is as an observer, really, and as an observer. All this symbolizes wisdom. So your role this month is kind of stand back. I know, usually you like to be in a party, in a center, network with people, go mingle with everyone, and really kind of be in a center of everyone. And I encourage you to, when you make decisions, instead of going and asking permission and advice for other people, this is something that you really enjoy most of the time, like who knows the answer. Instead of doing that, before you do that, let me rephrase that. Not instead, you can still go and do all these things. However, first things first, know that you already know the answer. There's this inner wisdom within you that already knows what to do, how to do, and acknowledge that first. And from this place of stability, from this place of certainty, you will know where to invest your focus and intention. Because that's what it's all about. You get what you focus on. You get more of what you focus on. And be mindful what you focus on. And kind of observe yourself. Where are you investing this month? Where is your energy flowing? Kind of like just step back and just see, do I still want to invest here? Is this a diet I want to invest in? Is this a habit I want to invest in? If yes, do more of that or continue doing the same. If not, maybe let go. And finally, if you get drawn to these writings here, or maybe, if you get drawn to Saturn here, or the stars up here, then this is Saturn. And what the Saturn stands for is gradual, steady progress. So yeah, Saturn achieves big things, but he is not concerned about huge, fast gains, risky things. What Saturn likes is, I'm gonna make it sure I'm gonna win. There's no doubt about it. I am certain and stable that I'm gonna win. How I'm gonna win? By taking step by step by step. It might be boring, might be very strategic, but in 20 years, I have a guarantee I will win. So I have this backup plan. So that's where I get my stability from. I have this backup plan, and I have a certainty in 20 years I will be a millionaire. The worst case, that's the worst case. If I keep doing this, in 20 years I'm a millionaire. And that's the perspective I invite you to follow. So whatever you do, always make sure you have that backup plan in place. Saturn will appreciate it. And that's the worst case. What's the best case? Well, you might get there in 5 years. There might be better opportunities coming along the way. However, you're still going in that direction. You still have this backup plan. You still have this certainty. So keep in mind that your physical body needs certainty. Make sure you have a certainty in there. And that will allow you to allow more opportunities coming. This certainty will allow you to really welcome the new things, to welcome the change. And that's it. That's how you gain more love in your life, business, and relationships this month for 4/6 profile. Summary. This month, you will need to learn how to let go of the things that no longer serve you. How to remain with this stability and certainty, even though you need to let go of things that you felt like are fundamental for you. You'll learn to source yourself from power from within. I suggest that you center yourself in a pure place in your heart, because change will happen, change is inevitable, so be prepared to it. And realize that you're always changing, always evolving. So you cannot step in the same place twice, therefore appreciate the change. As you go through the change, always reminder what's important, what are your priorities. And finally, to welcome more change, remember that you're an investor or investment. See the situations as investments. Either you being investor or you being investment. Either perspective will work to realize that, where am I sending energy? Is this a welcome change, or is it something I don't want to welcome in my life? And this is how you will know what's the topmost priority, how to navigate February 2025 to gain most love out of it. I trust you like it. If you like this video, subscribe, like it, and have it magical.